It's being live streamed. So Julie, go ahead and welcome to the show. Tell us what we're doing.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, all friends and family on Zoom and viewers on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we're talking about the Global Homeless Projects. We are from ONPASSIVE. We're founders of ONPASSIVE, and we're here just to share how we are going to help, what we can contribute to help with the whole global homeless project. So I'd like to start with Leon. Leon, if you could please go ahead.
Hi, Julie, and hi, Marlo. Thank you for having me on your show. And I want to talk a little bit about the homeless project and the OBLESS. And one of the things I want to say is that, it's not an easy task. And I'm glad Mr. Asha, wanted us kind of like to tackle it this way, because what we have to do is put together a blueprint, a boilerproof blueprint, and which means we're going to need every walk of life, every profession to do this. And if we can put together a blueprint and we can use it in every city, that will be the best thing to do, because in LA, they have, different attorneys advocating for the homeless. That's why they're allowed to live and sleep right on the street. We have places in Orange County where they want to build a big homeless shelter, but the people don't want it in their community. So you have so many things you got to deal with. And if we could put together the right boilerplate and blueprint, because there's NGOs that we can partner with as well as ONPASSIVE, because there's a lot of people out there. For example, if our government could have solved homeless, it would have been done. They can't. And the reason why they can't is because there's too many red tapes and too many people saying no over here and too many people saying yes over here, and none of them are getting together to do this. For example, I know for a fact when you go, because I have experience in cities and special government, you're going to need all of those people working together. You're going to have somebody could go and stand in front of a board, like Mr. Ashton mentioned before. We may have to start doing something like clothing, feeding, housing people, and evaluating people first, because you got so many different levels of homeless. You got temporary homeless. You got people that are going to be, just because of the COVID, they're going to become homeless for the first time. You got people that been homeless all their life or long-term, and that are mental illness. Then you got to deal with all the HIPAA laws and all the different areas. So what we have to do, like you say, we got 4,000 people ready to come aboard and help. We just got to figure out what all 4,000 people, what they have to contribute and how they're going to contribute, and then break off into the groups, and one work on this and one work on that. For example, you got to have permits for certain things. You got to work to the health department on certain things, and you got to have different groups that doing these things. And once we put this together, this boilerplate blueprint, then we can use it. Whether we can start off in, like you say, city by city. We could start off in Michigan. We could start off in another city, and then go globally and make it bigger. Because I've been looking at this for a long time. Why we have so many homeless people? Why it can't work? Why it's not working right now for people, and why they have so many in their city. And like the gentleman said earlier, in some areas cold, some areas warm. The warmer area that have more population going to have more people, and then you having to deal with all these different type of issues. And one thing I thought about again in the past was a sustainable village, just choosing women and children, and then elderly and veterans. Then that way, and branch out from there, build a boilerplate around that, because people are more accepting when it comes to women and children and the elderly than just everyday person. Then maybe not, the project won't be called homeless. It may be called something else to break the stigmatism, so people can start, engaging that these people need help and not call it homelessness. But, that is something I just want to throw out there. And I know everybody else have ideas and thought, but, it's somewhere we got to start with that boilerplate, with that blueprint.
It's good stuff, Leon. Good stuff. And this is what this show's all about is, we start masterminding, we start throwing things off of each other. And hey, we come up with some things. All right,
Exactly.
next up we got from the Bahamas, Miss Janet Butler. Come on down, girl.
Hey guys, really excited about this topic. So I wanted to definitely make the time to be here and put in my couple of cents on this topic. It's that obviously it's going to be a massive and huge project to undertake, and from that, I just want you guys to know that, you know, I'm all in. I want to be a part of it. I have a extensive background in events, logistics, coordinating people. Multitasking is my thing. Used to having 6 and 7 things going on at once, and I've got, you know, massive skills in keeping things organized, putting different pieces together, and just troubleshooting stuff. Over the years, I've been known to be very resourceful in putting things together, and I'm definitely comfortable around the computer. So you got to put things together. You need things templated. You need things like that done. That's me. So slot me down. When you guys get into the phase of, you know, trying to put the teams together and mapping it out, definitely I'm here. Call me. I can totally help you guys with that. Got lots of experience in that area.
Perfect.
And that's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much, Janet. It's so good to know that you are with a lot of skills and talents. I wonder if you have filled out the form in the updates yet, Janet?
I did, but I wasn't too detailed at the time. At the time, I really wasn't sure exactly where you were going with that. But I'll go back and put some information in there for you.
Absolutely. So if you could go back and that form is not set up for edit. So if you want to fill out another one, more than welcome to do that. There's about 5,000 people there. There's a lot of people putting in the same thing multiple times, but that's okay, Janet. If you could put on, and then I'll just take the old one on off. Would love to have. That is a kind of contributions that ONPASSIVE is looking for. Now, Janet has mentioned lots of skills that you have. If you don't have the skills that she has, it's okay. I would be the first one that don't have the skills. I just go out there and I do what I can, right? So I'm very sure, and everyone here would agree with me that, you know, whatever you can do with your skills that God's give you, it's a contribution to this project. Thank you so much, Janet, for joining us today. All right, William Norris, good to hear from you, William.
Judy, thank you, Milo. Thank all the panel here. You know, if I just go into town here, I don't see a lot of homelessness, but if I go to Wilmington or Myrtle Beach, which I'm about halfway in between, you know, I don't have to drive very far to see that sort of thing, and it's always kind of dug in and hit a nerve with me to see people on the street with holding up a sign saying I'll work for food, or I'm homeless. That kind of goes against the grain with me. And I guess the reason it does is because, you know, we live in a country where there's enough to go around, but greed sometimes gets in the way. And that's something that I think ONPASSIVE is going to be able to conquer, maybe not in the full extent, but to some degree, I think ONPASSIVE is going to help, you know, level the playing field a little bit. And I just, you know, I want to do what I can. I've been retired since 2013, and I thought, you know, I was going to kind of relax and set back a little bit, but you know, now I've got involved with ONPASSIVE, and this blessed thing's come along, and I see where my talents and my experience can be a lot of good, can do a lot of good. As gentleman, what's his name, Leon mentioned, there's a lot of things that have to be done sort of behind the curtain. In my experience, most of my experience is going to be in the building field. I had my own construction company for 20 years, and I'm very familiar with all the aspects of, what it takes to do that and deal with contractors and pulling permits and dealing with engineers. And, I have that background, as well as, prior to the 20-year construction thing that I did. I was a store manager for 3 or 4 years. I was a industrial textile mechanic and electrician with the nuclear power plant here at Southport. So I got a good broad spectrum of what it takes to be involved with a lot of different things, and I know how to work with people. That's something once you get a grasp of it, you kind of hang on to it. It's something that you can kind of think back in your think tank and pull it back up and deal with it. Although when you're away from things, you get a little rusty, but it all comes back. But I really want to get involved. I filled out the form, and I also sent Chris a copy of my resume, and I hope he takes the time to look at it and just tell me how he feels about it. But I'm willing to do my part. I'm willing to do my part and more, because I really don't like to see homeless people, because it shouldn't be happening in this country. Shouldn't be happening anywhere. But I mean, we need to bear down here, and it's going to take an effort. It's going to take a big effort. It's going to take a lot of heart, but we got it. We have a lot of heart with ONPASSIVE. I mean, that's being instilled in us by Ash, and a lot of good leaders here. So we know what we got to do. We just got to put some legs on it, and we got to make this happen, because this may be the last chance we have to do this. So we need to really think about it. And like Chris said, if we're not going to do it, let's don't say we're going to do it and go sit down. Let's get involved. Let's do it. I mean, as long as I'm healthy, and as long as I can, go, I'll be glad to go and do whatever I can do, locally, abroad. It doesn't matter. I'm ready to help. I appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you so much, William. Well said, and really appreciate your heart out there that you are doing what you're doing. So the same question for Janet. I know that you said you fill out the form, and if you need to add more into what you have submitted, William, please go ahead and do that. Use the form and do that. Let us know. And what we share here, the skill, the professionals that we contribute along has to come with the heart. Like what Chris said, if you truly saying right on that form that you're going to do it, you're going to do it, right? So let the hearts that come with what we actually write down. So thank you so much, William, for doing that. So if you need to, please go on and update the form if you need to. Milo, I'm sending it back to you.
Hey, William, coming from a field of contracting myself, I wasn't a contractor. Actually, at one point I was, but I went into selling materials and stuff. What you said is a big need. Anyone that can work with the cities, like Leon said, if you can go in there and you can talk to the cities and you can get permits, that stuff's all going to be very valuable to us. That's a big learning curve that you have to go through. So appreciate that, man. That's great stuff that you just said right there. All right,
all this jurisdictional things, man. It takes time and it takes effort to make these things go. It doesn't just, you don't snap your finger and make it happen. You got to deal with the engineer. You got to be able to look at a drawing and tell whether it's right or not, because you're gonna be challenged by inspectors. You're going to be challenged by heads of these departments. So you're going to have to know what you're doing to some degree to be able to get this thing to walk.
Absolutely, because if you don't know the answers, they're going to send you home and say, come back in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
But if you know the answers and you're good at doing that, that's a big plus. Even if you're not in that area, you can guide someone on the do's and the don'ts. That's a big plus. So
I'd be glad to sit in on a panel and advisory panel or whatever, wherever I'm needed. I'm ready.
Absolutely.
If it takes picking up my hammer and saw, I'm ready to do that too.
All right, sounds good. Sounds great. All right, next up we have Miss Lois White from Toronto, Canada. Come on down, girl.
I'm trying to unmute. Oh, okay, hi. You can hear me okay?
Yes,
Yes,
you're good.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because sometimes I'm getting crackling, so I hope it's okay. Yeah, so I definitely want to help out. You know, I've worked in office work at various levels, up to working for presidents and other people in various different industries. But I always had a passion for helping people, and I took many courses at night. I just did for myself. I thought, I want to go into law, or I want to go into this, you know, to do something. Same thing, to help people more. And I've lived in Montreal, I've lived in Toronto. I'm now just south of Ottawa for a while, but I'll be going home soon in a few weeks. But I just love helping, and I already do stuff. I help people. I help educating on human rights, so they even know their human rights, and many other tools, especially HR skills. But I've even, when Haiti happened, I even took all my summer clothes and donated right away. I donated. I thought, you know what? I can buy new clothes. You know, they need them more than I did. You know, many times I've done things like that, you know. I just know I have a heart and I feel for everybody, you know. I work with people who had many traumas, like, you know, jobs, whatever, right, you know, to help them. And even to this day, I still help people. People phone me all the time, you know, and I'm able to guide them and help them, you know, what they can do if I can't see them in person, if I happen to be out of town. Because we have to have a heart and help these people, you know. I see in Toronto and I've seen in Ottawa, like the homeless, you know, and I've talked to them. I always interview them. I used to walk along, I'd buy my lunch while I'm out, and then I'd go give them my lunch, you know, I just bought, you know. Because we have to help them. You know, something's happened in their life. I've interviewed many of them on my own, and you know that they've had tragedies in their life. I know one guy, a guy told me his friend there, you know, who was really scruffy, he said he was a pilot, but his wife left him for someone else, and that was it. He ended up on the street, you know. I mean, there's many stories like that. You know, they have a story behind them and they just need help, someone to talk to and to help steer them on the right track, you know. So yeah, I'm happy to be part. I have lots of good skills that I can be a good help and want to, you know. Yeah, exactly. It's wonderful to see so many like-minded.
wow.
I'm going to go ahead with this.
Wow, thank you so much, Lois White. The more we talk about it, the more we know that ONPASSIVE has so many talented people around the world can contribute. I'm so happy to do that. It's the same thing for everyone who has spoke. If you have the skills, if you run an organization that you are doing that has something to do with skills, management, staffing, anything like that, would love for you to mention it in the form. Like I said, there's already 5,000 people there. I could go through and I could delete some of the ones that are already done, but I'll take the bigger profile it needs to be. And if you have spoken here, just said, I spoke on Julie and Milo's show this day, just so that kind of refreshing us. Basically what we're doing right now is we're looking for, you know, and I know I'm speaking this, I'm totally speaking this without even know what Mr. Ashmore for it has a plan behind the scene. We're just here to kind of like brainstorming, masterminding what we're going to do. We don't know whether or not we're going to be using those skills, but I'm sure that when he gave us the direction, we know exactly where to go. We know exactly who to find people to do that. So that is the reason why we are doing this here. Otherwise, if we were to wait till he gives us the direction, at that time, it's going to take us more time to go find those talents. And that's the reason why we're getting together and we talk this here. And we will continuously talk about this project and you know, inputs from people. And so if you're planning to do it, and if you have skills that you just know that, oh, I did this project, I run this project, you know, and how successful it is, and you want to add to that, please do it, but try to do it one time only. Don't do it too much, because I'm going to go through those lists and I'm going to delete the ones that, you know, if your name appeared 2 times, I'm going to take the longest one. So if you are planning to edit or redo your list, just make sure that you do a final ones. Otherwise, it will be deleted. And I promise you, I make mistakes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing today. Dr.
Yeah,
Ben,
Julie, I just want to say one other thing. I also work with drug and alcohol. I was trained to help get drug and alcohol addicts off and change their life, and with really good programs.
perfect. Perfect. Add that in your profile, your form that you're filling out. Perfect, Lois White. Thank you. Dr. Benny.
Right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to my brothers and sisters. Sister Julie, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for this project. I do have double degrees, and I have worked in that arena in public health, counseling. Wow. In counseling, you have mental health, you have education, you have gerontology, and you have marriage. I have done all those. I have master's again in information security and assurance, a PhD in information security and assurance, and minor in cyber security. But now, when it comes to these homeless people, I worked in a group home when I came to this country. They needed serious help. The children needed a lot of help because the parents were not there to help. So I have to work with them just like a mother, to help them. Then there are homeless outside that need serious help. Some of them don't have clothes, they don't have shoes. So I would like us to prepare clothing, either use clothes, use shoes, and then blanket for them to sleep. I mean, then they need food. I can cook for them. If they want me to cook, it's okay. Remember that when we start receiving the apples, just like Brother Chris said, that if you say, hey, oh, I'm going to help. But when the time comes, after you start receiving the apples, you're enjoying that money, you may not want to. But let me tell you guys something. I used to clean the church, right? At my level, then our pastor said, oh, if she has that PhD, she told me that she will continue. I think he was just playing over my mind. I don't care whether I have a PhD or not. I was cleaning the toilets. You have people who come and do certain things, but I will still clean. So, but I am willing to help each and everyone. There are a lot of people out there who are in need. God gave me the talent. So long as he keeps me alive, count me in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Thank you, Dr. Benny. It's good stuff. And next up, we have Reverend Abundance. I like that name. Come on down, Reverend. Talk to us.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to us all, wherever you are. It's a very exciting moment for me concerning this homeless project. I've worked with World Vision International for 7 years, and we have been doing this community homeless projects, helping the children, and I've done so many community mobilization to support these children. About 3 weeks ago, there is a community near my station where I am now, and we visited the homeless children, and it was really touching. For some time, I was even discussing with my wife, we want to even have a foundation for these children, because it's when you see them, sometimes you are at home and they will come to you for food, they will come to you for money, and a whole lot of issues. So I think it's a passion on my heart. When I even heard about ONPASSIVE and this homeless issue, I was really happy. And all the apples that will be coming, my concern is to have that foundation to support these homeless children and the people concerned. So I'm really in, and my passion is there. and I would want to be part of it to support wherever small area I have that I can help. I'm willing and ready to do that.
Fantastic. Reverend Abundance, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you're here as well. Wow, I love how this whole webinar is going. I really appreciate everyone who came on and share with us. MK, if I may ask you to let John Jungwon go first, it's because it is 12:30 a.m. in his end, and he has to get up for a road trip for 5 hours long. So if you don't mind, let John go first. Thank you, MK. John, go right ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Julie, and thank you, MK, for really just giving me the chance. I'm sitting here, I'm really, really excited and super anxious, looking forward to this project. My name is John Jungwon. I am actually based in New Jersey in the United States, but I'm currently traveling. I'm in Africa, so it's getting to 1 o'clock where I am now, and I'm on a road trip. So thank you for giving me the time. I have been involved with homeless people more to the extent of helping go feed them or provide feeding for them. But from an experience point of view, I have like 2 decades in Fortune 100 companies doing a lot of project coordination. And what I really see, I've been listening to a lot of people talk here. This is a huge undertaking, and we're gonna have so many moving parts. We're gonna have Mr. Ash's vision, and where I think I'll probably be able to chip in my 2 cents will be really, I think I have that skill set of really coordinating the different aspects, aligning them, making sure that we fully understand the interdependencies between all the different moving parts, so that what needs to be done is done at the right time. And more importantly, I think I will be able to help contribute towards making sure that whatever project is implemented really comes not only to fruition, but becomes sustainable in terms of the projects, but also sustainable in a way that when somebody comes out from that shelter or whatever facility that ONPASSIVE is going to create for them, they can actually become useful people in the society and be independent. So those are areas that I feel I can contribute. I'm sure there's a lot more, but above all, I think I have the passion for it, and I'm really excited to even set aside some of the projects that I already have in mind from ONPASSIVE and actually work on them. Thank you very much, and good morning to you.
Thank you, John. Thanks so much for joining us. John, where are you from? What country are you in? I didn't get it.
Okay, I'm actually in New Jersey in the US, but I'm traveling. Actually, I'm in Africa right now.
Okay.
So
perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much. What about Reverend's Abundance? Are you there, Reverend's? Reverend, where are you right now? What?
Yeah, I'm from Ghana. I'm in Ghana now.
You're in Ghana right now. Is Abundance your name, your real name, or is that what?
Yes, that's the name they call me. It's part of my name. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that name.
Thank you.
Sending it back to Milo.
All right, thanks, Julie. That's a stage name, I think. Great. All right. Next up, we got MK. MK, come on down. Talk to us.
Hi, everyone. Very good to be on this panel tonight. I am sitting in Norway. That is where I am. But originally, I come from Botswana, a small country in Africa next to South Africa. Any charitable work is in my bone marrow. It's just my passion. Actually, I am in Norway because of many rewards for the charitable work I have done for Botswana. As I'm sitting in Norway, I'm a teacher in one of the universities here. I'm a social worker by profession. So I've been a practitioner in social work for many years. But now here I'm teaching people who want to be social workers. So I bring that international aspect into what I teach. But I'm also a founder of a small organization in Botswana for orphaned children, which I started when I was very young, 24. And I have been working with that organization up to now. It's, I can say through the government of Botswana, I have replicated myself. And about more than 500 social workers are doing what I started in the country for orphaned children. Because it's a calling. I was just touched when I was younger to see so many young children losing their parents because of HIV/AIDS. It was thousands of them losing their parents at the same time, and Botswana is a very small country. So I'm really happy to be here and to contribute. And as Susie started, when she started, she talked about board of directors or an idea like that to coordinate this kind of project. I think because I'm sitting from far here, that's how I see myself contributing into this Michigan homeless project, bringing in strategic approaches or strategic models, because that's what I'm trained on. What I would like to say is the most important thing I have learned over my social work practitioner life is that every person has a resource. Every individual, no matter how you define them, they have their own resources. So it is very important that when we approach communities, we ask them what they want and how they want things to be done. And the other important thing is to just also work within systems. Ask the professionals who are more leading in these areas within our own governments, like within Michigan, to say, how do things work in this system? That way we can be able to follow the system. But then to talk to those who are the beneficiaries of this project to say, how do you want to be helped? People have resources, they have ideas on what they want done for them, and they also have resources on what they want to do for themselves. So those two big questions should be our entry point into Michigan or any other system. So that would be my contribution. I work in Norway here, and I have worked in Botswana, which is a completely different country. And what I like about Norway is that when we work with homeless people or people who need resources like housing, the system already allows us to work with a number of professionals at the same time because they are so well coordinated. So you'll find planners there, social workers there, psychologists there, politicians there, already in one committee, such that when you ask this system, how do things work here? Every one of them will put in their contribution on how things should work. I have seen in Norway, one of the best approaches is to, for people who are homeless, is to get them inside the community, not to exclude them, but to make them part of the community in such a way that they are part of the neighborhood. They are not secluded to have homeless household there alone. No. But if we need to build them like 2-bedroomed house, the 2-bedroomed houses are in between the mansions of politicians and lawyers and whoever. So, but it's a different country because it's a welfare state, and it's a state that encourages equality. So the rich are next to the poor, and everybody is open and nobody is judging the other. So that system, I saw it working very well and allowing people to be part of the community almost instantly because they are neighborhood to people of different standards immediately. So anyway, in short, I could provide, because I'm far, I could provide strategic models. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MK. Really appreciate you. Oh my gosh, we have so many hearts and talented in ONPASSIVE. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Truly, I can't wait. Like what I said, yes,
Julie,
Chris.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Can I get, if I have permission, can we get MK's full name, last name, please?
Yeah, we have MK on the sheet. MK, if you
Okay.
don't mind, if you don't mind, update your form. And if anyone that spoke tonight, if you could just indicate spoke on Julie and Milo's show, just so that we know, you know, we know what what area and all that stuff. And if you come on, it would be great if you say your name, what city or what area you come on. It's okay. We're gonna watch this again, but I know we're gonna do many of these, so it would be great if you could do that. And also, a lot of people sent me messages saying that, you know, in the form there's not enough space. Just do keywords, because there's 5,000 people on there. There's going to be more thousands there. It's going to be very hard for me to read through everything. I have to do keyword search and then, you know, all that work stuff. So would be great if you put keywords in, you know, like technology or engineering or civil engineer or electrical engineer, you know, stuff like that, just so for us to easier. And if you write Julie and Milo show, then I just search for Julie and Milo show. You know, it makes it a little bit time consuming for the people, you know, the people behind the scenes that doing some work. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate you, MK. Always love to hear your story. And I know we got to get you on to the Julie and Milo show founders interview. So love for you to be on. Anyway, love to hear from you. Thank you, MK. Bruce Almighty, please unmute your mic.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much for putting this on. What a group we are. It's so incredible. You know, I discovered a long time ago that my purpose in the world was to serve selflessly with compassion and kindness. And MK said one important thing, that should always listen to people to find out who they are, what they want, what they're looking for, rather than thinking, oh, we got something for you. Find out what they want first, because that goes a long way. You know, my background is music, recording engineer. I had started a master's in family systems, and I've been recovering for over 40 years now. So my job, that's not a job that I've had the longest, is to stay clean and free from all drugs and all that time. So we have some. But what I find is that what happens to everybody in this world, they get lost. They get lost and they feel worthless. And a lot of getting back to inside, you can feel homeless. You leave to up a mansion, you can feel alone. It doesn't matter where you live, it matters where you are inside. So a lot of this project really needs to be focused on not just finding the home or feeding people, but also finding a way to uplift them, to help them find solutions to everyday problems, to everyday living. Everyone has a box they're stuck in. You can be stuck in a box in Laguna Beach. You can be stuck in a box in San Francisco on the streets. And they're called comfort zones at some point. So some people may be more comfortable to live in a box, and that's where they live. It doesn't mean they don't want more, but they're afraid to move out of there. So when it comes to all these different ways that we can help people, it really makes a difference to find out where they were. There are a lot of brilliant people who became homeless. There are a lot of people who lost their fortunes because of hospitalizations. There's a lot of people who had nothing to begin with. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn. I was raised for 2 years in a place called Glenwood Housing. It was low-cost housing. But that low-cost housing eventually became what's called the projects, which became a ghetto. So just because you give somebody a home doesn't mean the place will be safe. It's very important to find ways to uplift people. One of the ways you can uplift people too, and Milo knows this a lot, Rana knows this a lot, is through music. And I used to run away from home and run to my friend's house and improvise on the piano because I could let my feelings out that way. But eventually I got into drugs and that was an escape. I talked about that in a meeting this morning in recovery. And I talked about, we're always looking for something outside of ourselves to get better. When we all finally get to understand that it's really an inside job, even though you're looking out, you're trying to get out of addiction, the only way out is through. And the only way out, the only way through is in. So we have to learn how to not just become homeless from the outside, but become filled with a home inside ourselves. That's a lot of what I can contribute here. However that works, my purpose is to serve. So it doesn't matter what I do to serve. It's a matter of helping as best as I can. No matter what, just keep helping and helping and helping. I was a recording engineer. I'm not an architect. I'm not a construction guy. I'm not a physical labor guy. But I'm a guy who wants to uplift people, lift up the home that they live in, the home that they really live in. It was in their hearts. So let's not just think of this homeless as physically, but it's important because I have a lot of people in Kenya and Tanzania and places other than that all need homes. And those are people will get the project in Michigan is great because it can teach us all how to do it somewhere else. Just like ONPASSIVE is a paradigm for a new way of living, a new way of doing things. This can be also that paradigm to help people with homelessness and all other things in their lives. So I'm looking forward to help with it the best I can. I can see Milo shaking his hand for me, a child. Thank you, namaste.
I agree with you, Bruce. I agree with you. And I think, ONPASSIVE will make a template. They will fine tune it. Each city, it fine tunes a little bit. Someone finds a different way to make it. It's going to be great. And I do relate with you on playing the piano for stress. That's what I've always did. If I get stressed out, man, I go to my piano and there's nothing like music for the soul. Next up, we got Mr. Engineer Mike. Come on down, engineer, and talk to us, brother.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Julia Milo. Thank you, Julia Milo, for the show. I want to also say hello to all the leaders, the Leadership Council members present here. My name is Michael Ojongtambia, like you guys can see. I'm an engineer by profession. I graduated from school in the National Advanced School of Public Works in Cameroon in the year 2001, and I just started working. So I've been working, I have 21 years of experience working in the field as a civil engineer and as a petroleum engineer. Okay, when I moved to the United States after my school in Cameroon, I did some certifications in the United States, National Institute for the Certification of Engineering Technology, NICET. I have the highest level of it, which is level number 4, as I was working as a NICET inspector. In the NACE, National Association for Corrosion Engineers, I have level 4 as well, the highest level. So talking to you, I'm talking to you like a professional in what I know how to do best. I've participated in some projects all around the world. In Houston, Texas, for the people who are in Houston, I work on the West Park toll road. That was a toll road that we have in Houston, Texas. I was like the main inspector on the road for the inspection of the building materials, construction material testing. Then I went up to Africa. I work in Equatorial Guinea as a road construction engineer for 5 years or more. Then I came to Canada now as a Canadian. I went back to school to do petroleum engineering, which I graduated with the degree, and I was working out there in the field as a driller, working with the drilling industry I work very closely with and in safety and the drilling part of it as an engineer. Then I did IT now. I'm a Linux, Red Hat certified Linux system administrator. I'm an instructor as well, instruct on Linux. So what I'm bringing into this dynamic project of the homelessness is, when we will be rehabilitating the people, like all the speakers have said here, Chris Johnson said, like Mr. Ash in his video, he said he wants to remove the people from nowhere to somewhere. So if we're removing them from nowhere to somewhere, it means we need to help to rehabilitate them. And what is the rehabilitation? All these skills that we have to come now together and teach them these skills. I'll be ready and willing to give them computer classes. I'll be ready and willing to give them Linux system administration classes. It is a job that when you have it, you're talking about 6 figures plus, if you really know what you're doing. So I'm ready and willing to do that. And also, I'm physically strong and fit. I do all, if you come when I was working in the field, you don't ever know if I'm a boss or not, because I like walking. So I will use that same skills and I will impact it in ONPASSIVE with all my heart. I'll give it to people. Now, we have another project that knowing people in ONPASSIVE, we've come across a lot of people. We have a friend who have a special project in PNG, which my big brother, Chris Johnson, we are involved there with Robin to help one of our sisters over there. We'll be there live. So I just want to thank everybody and say, let's bring all these skills that we have. And I remember on Saturday, when I was asked the question, like, who can predict what our launch was gonna be like? I told Julie, people who were there in this Julia Milo show, that I predict from the way I've seen Mr. Ash love the space. I said that we'll definitely have something from the space, and he said it the other day. So I thought I predicted right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Engineering Mike. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Lots of skills that you have there. Can't wait for all of us doing this together. Appreciate you come on and share with us as well. Now, Engineer Shrishanta, good to have you with us. Please go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi, all the panelists. Actually, it's a good morning from Bangladesh. Of course, there is a good evening. Some part of the world is a good afternoon. So we can say it's a good day for all of our ONPASSIVians. It's a great pleasure to be here. This is Engineer Sushanta Biswas. Actually, I accomplished my engineering in 1989. Almost 32 years I am passing in my professional life. I am basically in electrical and electronic engineering. And since my engineering, I am doing my own business actually. I didn't do any government job or anywhere else. Since then, I had several training in the different part of the world. I had been in Europe, China, India, anywhere. But basically my job, my work is to confirm the electricity to the different residents, industries, and the different part of the world. You'll be happy that my daughter is also engineer, and she is also living in US, and she's working in the Texas University. So other than engineering, actually I'm involved in many social work. You may know that the name of Rotary. I'm the past president of Rotary Club of Banani, Dhaka, Bangladesh. And in my experience, we did so many social work. And out of those, of course, some of the projects were for the homeless people to provide them home. But in those cases, from my experience, I'm telling you that the government gave us the land and we built the small houses and handed over them to the unfortunate and the less fortunate people. That was a great job for us, of course. It was self-funding project, not government or anyone else helped us. We got help from ourselves, from the Rotary. So homeless project in Michigan, as our great leader, Chris Johnson, was very excited. I salute him for this kind of project. And regarding this project, I should say, and we saw lots of experiences, lots of suggestions we already got. It's a great project, no doubt about that. And being a ONPASSIVE and as we joined with ONPASSIVE platform, it's our responsibility, it's our duty to do something for the homeless people, for the less fortunate and the unfortunate people across the world. As our CEO Yash Mufada is committed to do the humanitarian work across the world, and we all the ONPASSIVians are the part of that vision and mission. We should take part as and where we can contribute ourselves.
All right,
So,
thank you, engineer. Thank you very
okay,
much for your
thank you
comments.
so much. Thank you so much. Over to Milo.
We appreciate it. Hey, look, we've got just time for the hands that are raised. We're running out of time. If we all take 3 minutes, Menjo Jacob will be the last one to speak, and then we'll wrap it up. So it's been a great show. So next up, we got Kathy Lee Friedman from Florida. Come on down, Kathy.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Can hear you good.
Okay. This is pretty exciting for me because as of Monday, I've had some problems with my license. I have 25 years experience as a private practice and as a mental health counselor. I have a master's degree in counseling, and as of Monday, my name will be cleared, but things will be cleared up. I've been working very hard for the last year with my lawyer. So anyway, I'm very hooked into, I've lived in Palm Beach County where we have tremendous homelessness. And my practice was there for 25 years. So I have, I have a tremendous connection with the addiction community, with the, with all the social worker community, whatever we need there. But for me personally, my real specialties are, psychosocial assessment and triage to figure out what these people need. I'm able to, like Janet said, organize and I'm able to handle large groups of people and help them and be able to identify and put them into categories, or not categories, but able to certain, like if they all have the certain, identify what their priorities, the highest priority is first. And then, of course, I have 25 years experience of alcohol and drug counseling, but I don't really like to do it, but I have the ability to know where the best facilities are if we're going to put people out into treatment centers. And then, of course, HIPAA compliance, someone mentioned, well-versed in all of that. My love is teaching people life skills, taking people, because I've sat on the board of Adopt a Family, which is an organization that actually houses homeless people and children and provides after school care. And so I teach life skills there now. So that's one of the big things that I love. The other thing in my community of South Florida is cultural diversity. And I'm highly trained in cultural diversity because we have such a vast population here from different areas with different beliefs. So that's what I can offer. And I'm in it, Chris. I'm here for it. I've been wanting it for a long time. And I see pregnant women on the streets with and it just kills me. So, yeah.
Thank you, Kathy, for coming on and share with us today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Share. All right, up next, I'd like to bring on Sherry Dursaway, one of my angel here in California. love this woman, her heart. And every time when we talk about Old Blast, she couldn't hold her tear back. And she went there and talked with Chris Johnson and visiting him, and same message coming out. So Sherry, I'm so glad that you are here, and I'm glad that you are one of the angel here in California with me, and Terry Thompson.
Oh, my heart is so full right back at you, girl. Thank you for having this. This is an amazing event that you're having today. Thank you for all the leaders and all those who have helped. So I'll just be short and sweet. A lot of people already know my daughter that has been doing this for the last 2.5, 3 years now, helping the houseless. We call them the houseless out here, and let me explain why this has come about. Because it's not like they're missing a home, they're actually missing a house, because their tents and their street is actually their home. So if we can be, I'm not trying to be bossy, but if they'd like to prefer to be called the houseless instead of homeless, if we can kind of change that around, that will make them feel better. I don't have a lot of skills for it, although I help my daughter, and she's in charge of a lot of things that she does every month. It's called the Martha Project. We go out and she has came across certain things. She's actually even been, I'm not trying to upscale my daughter or anything, but she's been on the Rachel Ray show, and Rachel Ray specifically was just looking for people who are out there helping others. So she happened to pick my daughter, and so she's kind of getting her name out there and then getting more and more help. This is a big project, just like ONPASSIVE is. It needs lots of streaming. And when my daughter goes out there real quick to give them the food, she has like a meeting with everybody that's passing out the food and tells them we bless it. And I don't know what you believe in, but we bless it. And to save the people who are passing it out, and for the people who are actually getting the food. But we be sure that they actually connect with the people who are out on the streets. They are people too as well. They need to be seen, they need to be heard. We don't just hand them the food, we actually chat with them and say, oh, how's your day going? And sometimes you may spend 5-10 minutes talking to them and stuff like that. So they do need the love and care, and know that they are important as well. So let's also focus on that. With any of you guys are going to be out there passing out the food, and you need any help in that area, I'm here as well. I'm up for anything. I do know I have a gentleman that I know it's in ONPASSIVE, Joe Career. He's actually was doing that before he became a founder in ONPASSIVE. So his traits will really be helpful too as well, because they actually were finding homes and putting them in a certain place. And also real quick, when the other day, it was kind of funny that Ash brought this up the same day. I don't watch a lot of TV. I just haven't had my TV on. And Dr. Phil actually was talking about the houselessness. And there was guys on there that had this app, and I need to share that with Ash. I have it wrote down the name of the app, and what it does, it pinpoints the type of things that they need so that they can get it, and so on and so forth. That's all I have, folks. I love you guys, all the pieces, and I'm excited for this amazing event on Old Blast. It's where my heart is as well. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry Dershway. And next up, we have Miss Marcy-Ann Himmelboo. Come on down, Marcy-Ann, and speak to us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marlo and Julie, for having me. I'm having a problem with my internet. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hear you good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to open my video. I don't want to be black out, but they know who I am. It's me, Marcy-Ann Himmelboo from Houston, Texas. I have a question. I want to know how to join the angel group from Chris Johnson. I've been looking forward to be part of that angel, and I don't know how to join. And secondly, let me say it quick before my internet drop me again. Secondly, I've been a part of so many projects that I work on, and I would like to be also part of the project that is coming up from ONPASSIVE. And helping people have been my passion. My great passion is to help people. For profession, maybe I don't have a lot of degree like other, but I'm professional, a caregiver. You guys know all what caregiver means. means you have the eye, the ear, the foot, and the hand of those that they don't have. Because you become their ear, you become their eye. You are now the person that have to do everything for those people. That's my profession, and I do it from heart. I love it. I'm so compassionate. These people were just like us before. Now they need somebody to take care of them. So I do that every day, and I don't get tired. I smile doing it because I love to do it. So going there, I have this project that I've been working with it since 2012. The project started in collaboration. We were calling it the Houston Against Violence. But today the project is Bright Light Project. We renamed it after Ebola in 2015 because a lot of children were losing their parents. After Ebola, 12,000 children become orphaned. We started this project from our own, just basically people that we come together and start looking for how to help others. Today we are in 5 countries in Africa: Cameroon, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. We are doing very well. Thank God the United Nations have adopted us. They accepted our project, and we are now part of the United Nations. So I really, really want to be part of any project in ONPASSIVE because I know I have so many experience. I do a lot of fundraising to help projects out there, even though I know I have my own ability to talk, so I can go out there and raise funds for people that they need. I just want to let you guys know I'm so happy for this. Please do not forget the caregivers. The caregiver, we are out there doing fabulous. We are helping people. We are taking care of the need. We are taking care of elderly people that they don't know how to do it for themselves anymore. And it's our passion. We also have to look for them. Thank you for having me. I hope my internet did not drop me. I hope they were listening for me.
Thank you, Marcian. Love your passion. We're going to move right along to Cynthia Brown. Love this girl. Go ahead, girl. I love what you said the other day, and I love to hear from you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cynthia Brown from Philadelphia. I just want to say I'm really happy about this. I love this. This is my passion. I'm going to touch on what Marcian said. I don't have any degrees or anything, but I have a heart. And I worked alongside my mother for years. And I worked with the homeless, the elderly, the disabled, the sick. I've done it all. And I was good at it, and I loved it. So I'm willing to do anything that I can do to help Philadelphia or anywhere, Kenya, wherever help is needed, I'm there. So I just really love this. I'm so happy about this. I'm just happy. My mom told me not to give up. Don't ever give up. Don't stop. And that's what I want to do. I want to keep on doing what she used to do, because I worked with her for years. So man, I love it. I'm just ready. I'm ready for it. So thank you, everybody, thank you, Julie, for this, Julie and Milo for this topic and everything, because it's my heart. It really is, and I'm ready for it. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome, awesome. Love you, Cynthia Brown. Love you, Cynthia Brown. And next up, we got Mr. Daryl Cook. Come on down, Daryl, and talk to us. You're muted, Daryl. Daryl, you're muted.
That's my wife's button.
There you go.
So she just allowed me to speak. Okay, lots of incredible backgrounds here. Why I'm excited about being just a little help here. I'm a product of all of this. I was raised by a single mom since I was 5 months old. I could have been homeless probably from that time on. But what happened in my life, I was empowered. In the last 4 years, I have been working with a gentleman named Carlos Caraballo. He came to the United States, and 25 years ago, he had a vision for his community to empower people coming from distressed areas and distressed lives. And so, you know, how that like-minded people come together. Well, I'm going to bullet point some things, and everything that you hear, I've been a product of, and I've done myself. And I'm going to take all of the fluff out of this, folks, because this is what you're looking into. And I think Chris Johnson will second this motion. So just be prepared. This ain't an easy boat. Okay, I was in the military. They empower people. I was a jailer. I ran a county jail. I helped empower those people so they could step out. It's hard work. I taught school for 24 years. What do teachers do? They empower. Now, here are the things that are going to happen. All right. You're going to need mentors. You're going to need job shadowing. You're going to need people to help these folks understand finance, GED educations, basic budgeting, skills in banking and other financial entities throughout their lives, because you need to empower them, not just with a house, but what are they going to do to keep that house going? All right. They're going to need discipline and habit building. They got to be habitual in their life. Most of these people don't know how to do that, or I don't think they'd be in those positions. They want to be out of it, I'm sure. Self-motivation. When you become depressed, I was there one time, you become so unmotivated that you need that kick in the butt, those practical skills and love that comes in to get you out of that again. And a lot of you folks who've been in that field, you know what I'm talking about. Teaching people how to be good workers, how to be on time. That's why you need those job shadowers. And then I'm going to get to the real nitty gritty. You know what? You can have all that in theory. I can't stand theory builders if they haven't gone out and actually made it work. So we need to be the theory workers. You can have all the theories, all the models you want. And then once you have it built, who's going to take the vision? I'm 66. So you got to have a whole nother set of training to empower people to continue the vision. So I hope it didn't take too much out of the joy and the excitement, but I just want to be practical. It's going to be a lot of work.
Thank you so much, Daryl. You're amazing. And absolutely what you're sharing here is very valuable, right? It's not just put them in the house. There's so many more skills that these people are going to start learning, right? Thank you, Daryl. And I do hope that you completed the form in the back office. It's in there. And if you could add what you've just said here, it's amazing. Now, everyone, if you are on the angel list that Chris Johnson have gathered, and you are on whatever that list is, the one in the back office, it's everything. So if you're on Chris's list, I would encourage you to go on there and fill it out, because Chris is eventually going to be using that form and that list to be able to do that. One question for Marcian. Marcian, if you are on Chris's list and you want to fill out the other form, it's the same thing. All right. Thank you so much, Daryl. Joyce Hicks, so good to have you.
Let me cut you off, Julie, real quick. I apologize,
Sure.
Joyce. Guys, the list Julie put in the back is, Julie's very good at organizing this stuff. Use that. That's the exact same thing, except she's a lot more organized than me. So use that list Julie made. It will make a big difference. I have my separate list with all you people that added, but I would prefer to go to Julie's list because it's much more in detail and a lot easier to follow. If you've seen my handwriting, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Julie, I apologize. Back to you.
No worries, Chris. Thanks so much. Joyce, good to have you here with us.
Thank you, Julie. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Julie and Milo. Thank you, guys. I've just ditto everything that everyone said, and Daryl just ditto everything that you just said. There was so important to know that, just being an angel is just my passion is homeless women and children. So I have a background in social work. It's my profession, a clinical social worker. I worked in mental health with depression, anxiety, everything that he just said, and everything that everyone said is so important. Just thank Peter and Chris for this project and for being so diligent with it and making this all happen. I'm from Michigan. I live about 80 miles from Chris and Peter. So yay, Michigan. Just excited about the project and can't wait for it to get started. I've worked in community mental health and community health center, where I work with, homeless people and women and children. Our church does missions at the homeless shelter every week, every month, and we feed, and we also provide clothing and so many other things that I've worked on. One thing about it was said is making sure that we know what the people want, not putting everyone in one box and saying that everybody fits in a category, but making sure we ask them what they want and what they need, because that's so important. I've done case management and just connecting people to resources. So having all those things in place is very good. But everything was great. Thank you, Julie and Milo, for this show. But anything that I can do to help, I'm here, just willing to help. So I'm there on both lists, and just excited for this to take place. And our Bless is going to bless so many people in this world. Love you guys and can't wait to get this project going. Thanks again.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Joyce. That was good stuff. Glad to have you on board. All right, and next up we got two more people left, and we got 12 minutes left. So, let's see, Jean Pierre, come on down.
Thank you, Marlo. Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Yeah. What's a dynamic project? Hey, Chris, my brother, how you doing? Salute. Yeah, I'm going to start by saying, I'm qualifying myself as a person with a loving heart and a happy hand. And then I have much example to say that back home, I'm from Cameroon. By the way, my name is Jean-Pierre Kemunya from Cameroon. So back home, after my university, I worked for Nienjo in Geno, was developed the community by implement the financing within the community, the poor community back home over there in Cameroon. So I was like a coordinator of those community or member of community, helping them embrace the ABC of the bank, of the financing. So that was back home. And then I moved here in the United States, and then I say myself, when I reach Houston, I say myself, I'm from Cameroon. I can see my people turning around doing nothing. How can they think something? So I built the association of Cameroonians in Houston over there. So I'm well done by helping people doing so. So because I'm a person with happy, lovely heart and happy hand, I said myself, how can I do to help people who suffer more than me? Because don't ever imagine that your suffering is more than someone else, because when you see someone suffering, you put your suffering very, very back way. So I said, okay, I'm going to build, or I'm going to fund an organization who's going to help women and children for the poor community, to empower them. I help the poor community who cannot afford to send their children to school, to help them. What I did, Julie, so I recently created a foundation. We're going to help paying for school for children, to help them pay for their school, and to supply school with some school supplies. So that's going to be for the low income community only. So when this dynamic project came out, I say, okay, it wasn't listed on my purpose, the purpose of my foundation. I say, okay, I'm going to add that purpose on my foundation. What means that the homeless, I don't have any knowledge of helping homeless, but I usually, when I'm walking in the street, helping people by donate food or giving some finance anymore, but I never have knowledge how to work with homeless. So I said, but I'm willing, Chris, to give my 100% time to have a training to how to help doing that, and so on. My background, I say, I'm a developer engineer. I'm a DevOps engineer, so I can train people also after they're going to move them from the street to help them afford something. So that's how I got a lot of skills. So just call me Chris, 100% for doing what we can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jean. So good to have you share with us. Really appreciate you. Daryl, if you could please check your private message on the chat with Chris. He wanted to send you something. All right, thank you so much. Manoj, Jacob, if you could please unmute your mic.
Good morning, Leadership Council members and Julie and Milo. I'm very proud to participating in Julie and Milo show now. Myself, Manoj Jacob from Kerala, India. Basically, I'm working as IT mechanical engineer in Kerala. I really want to say that I'm very interested to join Oblast homeless project, and I realized that ONPASSIVE is not only financial freedom, but also it is a removal of poverty and helping others, which is financially weakness human beings. And one more thing I want to say, I'm so proudly feeling now I can bring a founder into my direct team to ONPASSIVE. She is now, she affected polio disease by birth, and no any body parts she cannot move without right hand finger. She is now ONPASSIVE proud founder, and so I'm very proud of that. And my passion now, one of my passion is to charity and help to others. I love so much ONPASSIVE Oblast helping project. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Menjoa. And we want to thank all of you for coming tonight. We have run out of time. We got like 5 minutes left, 6 minutes. I'm going to try to go real quick and say a few things. Thank you all for coming. It's been a wonderful evening. We've got a lot of things done. We masterminded. If you didn't get a chance to talk, I apologize. We run out of time. We close the show at 8:30, so we're going to do that. And but I'd like to just kind of recap, man. Some of the stuff that was said was incredible, you know, from Chris Johnson talking about the Angels and Peter, what they know it. And Joyce Hicks was also up there in Michigan, and what Mr. Ash said. And for us to all come together, say what we had to say about what we can do, how we can all work together. This is going to be a tremendous project. Whenever you get people together and they work together, it always turns out good. And so I appreciate, thank you all for coming tonight, and enjoy your week, and know that next week, I don't know, Julie, are we going to have a show? Because we got the top, and so I think that's probably going to take it up.
We will play by ear, Milo. We will play by ear, but I noticed Violet has been raising her hand.
That's all right. We're done. No, we're done. We're done.
She has her hands raised for a while, Milo.
Yeah, she has, but she keep it. We already, Julie, we said the last one was this one. So that was the last one. You know, otherwise we'll go on all night.
I'm good. Thanks a lot.
Thank
you.
you.
Can finish. Bye-bye.
Bye. Julie, close it down, sister.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and join us today. Really appreciate everyone who spoke today. The form is still there in the back office. If you'd like to add more, please do that. That's about it. Keep on and keep thinking about Oblast. A lot of us who listening to this here today, if you don't have a project, don't worry. Just keep open mind and heart to it. It's going to come to you as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Please take care of yourself. We'll see you next week. We're just going to play by ear. It's a great event. We're looking forward to it, but we'll see you Saturday as well. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Good night from Nashville.
Good night. Good morning. Good night,
Good night from
everyone.
Norway.
Good night from Philadelphia.
Good night.
Hello.
Good night.
Good night.
allowing us to come out.
Dr. Benny. Good night.
Appreciate you.
Engineer.
From Australia.
Good night. Good night.
David. Good night, Amy. Good
I
night,
love you all.
Good night, Steve. Good night, Lois. Good night, Good night, Marley. Good night, Mamoru. Good night, Andy. Good night, Marie. Good night.
God bless you.
When it's time.
Let's get into winnings.